Nori rolls are a great way to take healthy food on a picnic or when you're traveling. And you don't need to take utensils or soy sauce. Want a quick lunch? You can use leftovers to make nori rolls. Or you can cut them up like sushi, and they look really nice to bring to a gathering. Now before you build your roll, you'll want to have all of your ingredients ready. Last night I cooked medium grain brown rice with a little sweet brown rice mixed in. I'll be using the leftovers in the roll. I like to add the sweet rice because it's a little stickier, which makes building the roll a little easier. But use whatever you have. But be aware, fluffy dry rice will make it a little harder. I also like the rice to be room temperature, not fresh from the fridge if possible, and not hot. I use a little over half a cup of cooked rice per roll. Nori is a sea vegetable, so it has lots of good minerals in it. You'll want to use sushi grade toasted. It should say that on the package. These get soggy easily, so don't take more than one sheet out of the package at a time and wait until just before you are ready to use it. Then seal the package immediately. Bamboo mats are an important tool for making nori rolls. They're also inexpensive and have lots of other uses in the kitchen, so get several. Now for the good stuff that goes inside. These are suggestions only. Be creative. Pickled ginger, preferably without added sugar. Check the package for the ingredients. Pickled ginger can usually be found in the same part of the grocery store where you find the nori sheets. Candied walnuts add a terrific crunch and flavor. Check out my YouTube video on making candied walnuts. Other ingredients? Thinly sliced avocado, carrots, and/or other leftover vegetables. And I like adding savory baked tofu that comes already seasoned in a package. And thinly sliced, a little goes a long way. Thinly sliced scallions. Toasted sesame seeds are especially nice to scatter on top if you're cutting the rolls into sushi-sized pieces. Rubber bands to hold the bamboo mat in place. Cloth napkins and ribbon or string. More on that later. Also, I keep a bowl of water close by. That way I can rinse off the sticky rice. And now the sauce. This is the most important ingredient. To make 2 rolls, you'll need 1 tablespoon of roasted tahini, a half a teaspoon of stone ground mustard, 2 teaspoons umeboshi vinegar, and a little water. This is a sriracha and this is a surikogi. I use these to mix the ingredients. This Japanese mortar and pestle is nice because the bowl has little grooves that facilitate breaking down the components. But if you only have a small bowl and a spoon, you can probably get away with just using them. So let's get going. The first thing I do is make the sauce. Combine the tahini, mustard, and umi vinegar in your bowl and grind until creamy. This should be a tad thicker than the consistency of mayonnaise, so if it's too thick, add a little bit of water. Now you're ready to build the roll. Place the bamboo mat in front of you and orient it so the bamboo sticks are sideways. Remove a sheet of nori from the package. Be sure your hands are dry when you touch the nori or it will quickly go limp and become distorted. Notice that the nori has a shiny side and a rough side. With the shiny side down, place it on the bamboo mat. Notice also that it's not square. Place it so that the long edge is closest to you. Next, the rice. You'll want to first dampen your hand in the bowl of water. Then begin to place the rice on the nori sheet. The trick here is not to use too much rice, and you need to press it down. Place the rice all the way to the ends of the nori sheet, but don't put any rice on the half-inch closest to you. You want to put just enough rice on so that the closest half is covered with rice and the other half is empty. You may need to rinse your hand periodically while pressing the rice into place. Now you're ready to add the sauce. Don't skimp here. This is the only seasoning you'll use, and you want it to give the roll a little zing. Next, add the pickled ginger. How much you include is a matter of personal taste, but I like to make sure that every bite includes some ginger. Now add the avocado and the veggies. Remember not to pile on too much. Everybody always wants to pile on the veggies, and it will make your roll too big and unwieldy. I like to add carrots for color, also something green. Just use some leftovers. Be creative. Next, the scallions. Sometimes I add toasted sesame seeds inside too. And you can check out the video on my YouTube channel, Toasting Sesame Seeds. And don't forget to add those candied walnuts for a tasty crunch. Now comes the rolling part. Using the bamboo mat, support the nori sheet as you lift it. Be sure the nori sheet tucks under itself, but the mat does not. Don't tuck the bamboo mat under the nori. This is where the bamboo mat and the roll part ways. Use the bamboo mat to help shape and slightly compress the roll. Don't squeeze too tightly. Note, your hands should be dry when you do this step. Sometimes it's helpful to slide the nori roll back on the mat so you don't run out of mat. When you have the roll nicely shaped and some of the nori sheet is still exposed, it's time to stick the roll together. Do this by getting a little water on your fingers. Then spread it onto the last ½ inch of the exposed nori. The water acts like glue to help adhere the nori to itself. Finally, finish using the mat to seal the roll. If you're taking this on a picnic, leave it in the bamboo mat and secure the mat with a couple of rubber bands. Then take a cloth napkin or a tea towel and place the roll at an angle in one corner. Then roll the nori roll package in the napkin and fold the corners in. Finish rolling and secure with a ribbon or a string. And voila! It's ready to go in your bag. When you're ready to eat, untie the bow. The cloth napkin becomes your tablecloth, napkin, or seat. I have used it for all of those things at one time or another. You can unroll the bamboo mat and slide the nori roll up a couple of inches and eat it like a burrito. Keep moving it up until finished, and when you're done, roll the mat back up in the napkin and it goes back in your bag. It's a simple, neat way to have a healthy lunch on the road. Another way to eat the nori roll is to cut it into pieces like you would get at a sushi restaurant. I like to do this if I'm bringing food to a party. It looks nice and it's good finger food. If you do decide to cut the nori roll, you'll need a sharp knife. Check out my YouTube video on knife sharpening. And here's a tip. The cutting will be easier if you let the nori roll sit in the bamboo mat for a little while. This makes the nori sheet softer. To cut the nori roll, remove it from the bamboo mat and place it on a cutting board. Cut the roll in half very carefully. Don't push down on the knife and don't squeeze the nori roll. Let the blade do the work. Just saw back and forth until the blade cuts all the way through. The knife blade will get sticky with rice after a couple of cuts, so it's a good idea to either rinse it or have a damp towel nearby to clean it between cuts. This makes the cutting easier. After rinsing the knife, cut the two half sections in half and in half again. You'll get 8 pieces from a roll. I like to sprinkle the tops with some toasted brown sesame seeds when I have them on the plate. And there you have it. I hope that helps.